Greetings, vacuum enthusiasts. I was going to say vacuum lovers, but that sounds a bit wrong in my eyes. You should not love a vacuum, no matter how good it is. Even if it floats on a cushion of air, even if it beeps as it sweeps as it cleans, even if it's got duo clean and LED headlights, there's nothing to love about a vacuum cleaner. You might like it, you might think it does a good job, but don't ever admit to loving them. I think it's wrong, and I will report you if you say you love vacuums. I don't know who I'd report you to, but anyway, I don't love them. I quite like them, you know, take them or leave them. Anyway, it is the 1st of June, folks. Yeah, it's the 1st of June. It is the 1st of June 2025. It actually is. I haven't been able to record this a couple of days in advance. Sometimes I have to. With other commitments, I think if I'm going to be away or if I've got something else I need to do, I'll record 2 or sometimes 3 days in advance. But today it is June the 1st. I don't know. Oh, I could get Alexa to confirm. Alexa, what's the date?
It's Sunday the 1st of June.
Did you hear that? Sunday the 1st of June. And that's my Australian Alexa. Right. Okie dokie, so it's vacuum of the month time. I have been using this Dyson on and off most of the time for the month of May. The very, very month of May, is it? No, it has been May. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's quiet, it's manoeuvrable. It even works on my plush pile Saxony. Although it will only work well on my plush pile Saxony with the little slide control at the deep pile carpet setting. If I was to do it, I've shown you this in other videos, any other setting, especially that setting for the intense clean, the brush roller will cut out or be incredibly hard to push. I think I can just about manage it on the mid section. That's doable. Not too bad. Let's just remind ourselves again what it's like on the most intense setting for the deep clean. Well, it's not actually cutting out this time, but yeah, it's a two-handed job. I can hear the brush roll making a funny noise. But yeah, it is. Oh, it's doable. But that's a lot easier now. On the deep pile setting, that's pretty good actually, I have to say. Because some people, and it's becoming more and more of a common problem, they're finding they're buying a new carpet and their existing vacuum cleaner isn't working on it because the fashion for carpets at the moment is a more dense pile, a softer pile and a denser pile. And as luck would have it, I've got some carpet samples with me and I'll be doing a separate video because I am going to replace this carpet. There have been comments saying, why are you replacing it? It's not very old. I'm replacing it because I've had enough of it. It is 5 years, just over 5 years old. I put a small burn hole in it last week with an Electrolux vacuum I was refurbishing. I turned it on and the motor spindle, because it wasn't fully assembled, the motor spindle was digging into the carpet. I didn't realise it was only there for a few seconds and I left a very small hole. But it's okay. I just really need a carpet type that's a lot easier to use most of my vacuums on. For demonstration purposes, I'd like to be able to, you know, push a Dyson Cordless without it being on eco, or push one of my cylinder cleaners without having to reduce the power level to minimum or slightly above minimum. I'd like to use a higher power setting with my cleaners, knowing that I'm going to get a deeper clean. Let's just have a quick look at the few samples of carpet that I've been lent to peruse. I'm choosing my new carpet from a local independent carpet and flooring specialist. The carpet I'm always moaning about in my videos, the plush pile Saxony, I got that from Carpetright. I just wanted something cheap to replace the very worn carpet that was fitted when we first moved in. With that carpet, I accidentally put an iron mark in it. I was ironing something. It might have been a green screen backdrop, I can't remember. But I was ironing it on the floor. The iron was stood up and I accidentally knocked it over. Whipped it up quickly. There was still a burn mark. Just actually behind the camera where it was. So I thought I'll get a new carpet. Chose this one. I don't think it was expensive, to be honest. Just it's probably polyester. Deep plush Saxony. Yeah. And if you look back, I did a whole video when it was fitted and I tried various vacuum cleaners on it, and it was basically the older machines worked best. I think it was a Turbo Power and Concept 2 electronic were the best at performing, and some of the worst were the Dyson Cordless and my Cobalt Tiger. So I'm not making that same mistake. I'm really choosing, or taking my time to choose a new carpet. So being a local firm, they came round, measured up, and we've been to the shop, and I was absolutely overwhelmed with the choice. I just didn't know where to start. But the lady who I saw knows that my main criteria for a new carpet is ease of vacuuming. I don't want a carpet that's going to be as bad as this. I don't want vacuum cleaners to clamp down on the surface. So it's going to be a shorter pile. So this is a small selection. I'll do a separate video showing you all the selection of carpet samples I've been lent, and I'm going to try various vacuums on it. Some I can't really do much with these. Fine for choosing colour, but they need to be at least this size to run a vacuum over. So with this Dyson Ball Animal Multifloor, we don't have an adjustable height for the brush roller. It is basically a floating head, but at least we have the adjustable suction. But preferably try and look for a vacuum that has both, which should be more compatible with most carpet types. But often it's too late. You've chosen the lovely carpet, you vacuum it for the first time, and then you realise, oh dear, I'm going to need a new vacuum cleaner. But this one, on its deep pile setting or plush carpet setting, it's not too bad. I don't mind it at all. What I don't like about this Dyson is the above floor cleaning. Don't get me wrong, you can use this Dyson for above floor cleaning, and it's got enough suction to do virtually everything you'd want it to do above floor level. It's just inconvenient, for me anyway. It's not as bad as some Dysons, but it's still a bit inconvenient. To access the hose, it's not too bad. You just flip up this, pull it out, it releases, and then you've got your wand attached already. This makes it a little bit more flexible, having the this sort of articulated joint, which on some of the earlier Dysons it was just a fixed, I don't know if it even swiveled on earlier Dysons, but it was a sort of fixed. Sometimes you had to reverse the wand in order to use it on previous models. And it's got a very stretchy hose, but as I've mentioned before, it is struggling with you. It's fighting with you actually all the time. Stretchy hoses like this, especially if you block the end off, they just want to retract back into the cleaner. I've used it, I think, once for doing my stairs with the hose. I've managed to clean my stairs using the main upright as well, but if you use it that way, it is awkward, and obviously you must keep your hands away from the rotating brush, but it's doable. If I wanted a quick whip round, I could do everywhere. I have to say I've not really used this on hard floors, because certainly in my kitchen I've got a robot to do that for me. I'm going to be doing a video on that soon. I've partly made it, but the robot I've got now not only vacuums the floor for me, it washes it as well, and I'm pretty pleased with it, to be honest. So for doing hard floors, I've not really used this, but you can use it on hard floors. You can turn the brush roll off. But yeah, I've just not used the tools. So I've been cheating on the Dyson with a cylinder vacuum for when I want to do my upholstery and the nooks and crannies. A cylinder cleaner is far more convenient to use than an upright with the hose, and I would say a cylinder is more convenient to use than a cordless, especially for doing work above the floor. Cordless, great for whipping round, you know, carpet floors, or out on the upholstery. But when you want to reach up high with a cordless, if you want to do your Venetian blinds, it can become very tiring, you know, holding a cordless machine with a dusting brush. So a cylinder cleaner with a long hose, for me, is the best thing for above the floor. And if you live in a home that has very few or no carpets, then I would go for a cylinder. I was asked which is the best one. The commenter said, I've no carpet or rugs, just hard floor. Which cylinder? Well, basically, if you've only got hard floor in your home, you don't have to spend a lot of money, because even a cheap cylinder vacuum should be able to clean a hard floor without too much trouble. This chap was interested in Miele or Sebo, so I just said, you don't need a power head, you don't need even a turbine nozzle if you haven't got any carpet or rugs. Just get a basic straight suction machine if you like those brands. Really, any of those, but I think the Miele Parquet Twister, not the huge one, unless he's got a large area, with my guard behind me. If you remember the video, I got really long, really wide parquet Twister, but Miele do slightly less wide ones, and I think it is a very good nozzle for hard floors. And they also do one with a softer brush for more delicate flooring, as well as the standard one, but it is very manoeuvrable and it flexes and gets into the little nooks and crannies. So if you just want a cleaner for hard floors, you want mains powered, basically, you know, just get one of the compact Mieles. They'll be good enough for your hard floors, not so good for large areas of carpet unless you've got the turbo nozzle, and even then not as good as a motorised nozzle. I'm quite surprised at what this has picked up. Oh no, I'm not quite surprised, I've just remembered. I did duo-P the carpet with a dry cleaning powder a while ago, but then I've forgotten I did whiz over it with my Bissell Big Green. But I'm thinking, crikey, it's found this powder after I've cleaned it with the Big Green, but it hasn't, because this particular area I got a bit of dirt on. I was polishing something, and I got some of the wax polish stuff. It's this solid thing, and bits of it fell on the carpet, so I did manage to suck those bits up, but some of the bits sort of got squashed in. So I used the dry cleaning powder in this area, and for quick maintenance tasks the dry cleaning powder is very good, because you're not waiting ages for it to dry. And I was filming at the time, so I didn't want to have to wash this area of the carpet and wait for it to dry. So that's what that is actually. That's only from yesterday. There's some bits of fluff in there as well. So I haven't saved the dirt. I've just been out, you know, emptied it, taken it out to my bin. I do like the emptying on the Dyson, because you can hold it into your bin. If you've got a big wheelie bin, you don't have to be near it. You can stand away from the bin. You just press the button on top. The same button that releases the canister from the machine is the same button you press to release, the dirt. So this is all I was doing, giving it a shake. And it's even possible not to even touch this. If you get it right. No. Oh, I thought it was possible. I've done it with some cleaners. Anyway, take no notice. You still have to, there might be a knack to it. So, you know, that's not bad actually. It's unavoidable that you're going to get some dust on the outside of these. So if you've got allergies, maybe get someone else to empty this, or obviously empty it outside. If you have an outside bin, you can easily access. Some people live in a flat and it's not so easy. So maybe take out a damp cloth. After you've emptied it, just use the damp cloth to get any dust that might have sort of fallen on here. I haven't really touched the filter. These hold most of the dirt on the inside. I think I did vacuum it out actually. It is possible, if you're careful, to remove this part. It's easier on this particular model, I think. You might need a screwdriver. No, that's easy enough. Hang on. You don't want to break it, but you can take that part off and you can see you've got better access. What I did with that, I put a crevice tool down there of a cylinder vacuum. A lot of people don't have another vacuum to use though, but if you're washing this, it means you can get the tap right in there and just squeeze it, and put it underwater, jiggle it about, you know, squeeze it out, leave it for 24 hours to dry. But then make sure you pop this back. Be careful when you're taking the end piece off. You don't want to break it. There we go. So as far as maintenance, I think Dyson certainly better than Shark for keeping the filters clean. With a Shark, although the filters are easy enough to access and wash, you know, sometimes they might need cleaning once a fortnight instead of once a month, depending how many times you vacuum, how big your home is, if you've got pets, etc. So I don't mind this cleaner at all. Dyson have just relaunched the cylinder models. They'd been discontinued in the UK, but if you go onto their website and other stores, you'll see they've brought back their Ball cylinders, 2 models. So perhaps there was a demand. People are still wanting mains pound vacuums. Right, that's it for the Dyson. It's not bad. Do I do ratings out of 10? I don't really, but I'd probably say for my needs, for carpet and floor cleaning, I'd give it 7 out of 10. For above floor cleaning, 5. It'll do it, but it's inconvenient. Right, I'll just pick this up and we'll choose vacuum of the month for June, the month of my birth. I have quite a varied selection of vacuum cleaners behind me. You've seen all of them but one. One I only obtained yesterday and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. I have made an unboxing and first look video of it. I just need to do a little bit of a demo with it. This cleaner I recently got out this last week for my storage unit. Do you remember this? The Loop Pure Cordless. I hadn't really thought much about it, to be honest. I used it, did a couple of videos, took it on holiday with me at a holiday cottage by the sea, got loads of sand out the carpet. It's got good agitation, even worked on the plush pile Saxony and showed agitation. Bit shrill in noise, but it's all right. So it's been stored away. I had the battery separately. I didn't put that in storage. The battery was in my spare room, but I was worried it wouldn't charge up. But it still had, you know, a couple of lights on the battery, and it's charged up fully. So yeah, there's this. The only thing, yeah, the head was the problem because it's this hose. It's not as flexible as it should be. I think this was the worst thing about this cleaner. The head could have been a bit better designed. It's rather ugly. I prefer the top half of the machine. And you can turn the brush roll on and off. It's got a lift away doodah where you can take the hose out. There are some other tools that I haven't got with me. Well, I've got them, but they're not on camera. You can press the button to release the doodah. Take this out. That goes in here, doesn't it? Apparently the Loop was designed by some ex-Dyson engineers. You can carry it like this. If you want to see this in detail, there's two videos, as I said, on my channel. But yes, sadly, Loop have gone out of business because I was thinking, oh, let's look them up, see if they've got anything new on the market. And no, that's when I found out they I don't know if they went into receivership or, well, anyway, the Loop company, as it stands, well, as it stood, isn't around anymore, which is a shame. But the vacuum cleaner market is very, very competitive. So for a totally new company to bring something out, and it was quite expensive, I believe. I got given one of these, like quite a few channels got a Loop to try out. I didn't ask for one, they contacted me. So I thought yes, because I quite like the look of it. And it's not bad, but it's a shame that they've gone. I just thought I'd show you it. I'm going to do a separate video, sort of a retrospective look at the Loop. One final hurrah from this machine. Another of many, many manufacturers that have tried to join the vacuum cleaner market and have failed. There's such a long line of companies. I can remember the Air Rider. Remember the Air Rider? I think Bissell took the name for that. You could get it branded Bissell, but that still failed. It was an attempt at a floating vacuum cleaner. This is a very popular cleaner. This is my new in the box dirt searcher. I'm not going to use it, I'm just saying now. I won't use it for vacuum of the month, although it'd be great on my carpets. I've got a toolkit for it, which it'll be fine. Not so great on hard floors. I'm not going to use this, but there will be a vacuum of the month or a couple of vacuum of the months coming up this year. I will be using some vintage machines. I've already chosen the machine I'm going to use, and it is behind me. But it's not going to be the lovely dirt searcher. As lovely as she is, she will have her time in the spotlight a bit later. This cleaner, and full video coming up, is an American Hoover Constellation. Look at it. I've been so lucky getting almost new looking vacuum cleaners. This is from the 70s. Look at the shine. It was in its superb condition when I got it yesterday. It's had a few coats of polish. Whoops. It's an odd one. There's something very odd about this, and you'll see why it's odd and strange in the video coming up at some point. But yeah, if I did decide to do a vintage month, I probably would choose two machines, but I'd wanted them, and these are probably similar in age. I would have a Hoover upright and probably a Hoover cylinder, you know, maybe a junior and a Constellation, or a senior and my Conquest cylinder. So yeah, that's a lovely machine, but it's not been properly used yet. Oh, I've got this. This was a choice when I did a poll. No, I think it was fairly popular. It's warmed on me. I've warmed to it. It was really difficult to push on the carpet originally when I got it. It seems to have eased up a bit, whether it's because it's lost a bit of suction, I don't know. But one thing about this, I mean, I don't like the emptying. And let's have a look at this. I did clean this out. Oh, it's not too bad. I don't think this, yeah, it's not washable. That's the thing, you can't wash the filter. So I've been using a dusting brush on another vacuum. And there's muck. So I have grabbed this quite a lot. In fact, I took this on my last caravan. When I took the caravan out a few weeks ago, just for a 4-night stay, I took this, and it was certainly better than the Hoover one that I used before, a cheap Hoover H3 500, I think it was. This isn't bad. So it does move quite well now on my carpet. I'm not sure about maximum. That's what I'm always doing that. I'm pressing the wrong button. Right, the silver one is on off. The other button is for maximum. So it's only on off, it's two speeds basically. So on, and then boost. Yeah, it works now. And it is a pretty effective vacuum for a cordless. It gets a lot of deep down dirt. It's getting more of the SIBO Duo powder up, look. So yeah, it's growing on me. It is quite heavy. It really is quite heavy. It's just a shame. Why didn't they make it a bagged version? It's messy to empty. You have to put your hand in to get the shroud out. But it did come with a lot of tools. Of course, they've reduced it by £100 since I bought it. But it does come with a hose and lots of other accessories. It's not a bad choice, especially when it's on offer. But the cleaner I will be using for the month of June is this, because I thought it was very expensive. I was initially quite disappointed with it. The instructions didn't have all the details I wanted. The bags that I tried to get free of charge were the wrong bags. They've sorted that out, I have to say. The last two Miele's I've shown you in the Guard series, when I applied to get my free packet of bags, it was the correct bag. And hopefully going forward they'll have sorted out the instruction book, because my instruction book had no mention about having to pair the remote to the machine. So I don't mind it now. I have used it quite a lot. I've used it this month for some above floor work I've been doing, blinds and things. It's nice and quiet, it's pretty light, it moves quite easily. I don't like, as I pointed out, the silly onboard 2-in-1 nozzle. You know, it has been used, but I don't like it. It makes a terrible noise. And now I'm always having trouble. Which way does it go in? I'm sure it's very simple. It does go that way in. That's definite. I didn't have this trouble when I first got it. It just there we go. Just right. Okay. It's that side goes towards the back. Right there. Once you know, you know. But it's rubbish. I do like the built-in doodah, this dusting brush. That is very useful. I've used that a lot. It's handy that all I have to do is take off the wand and pull that out. It's not as good, possibly, as, you know, a separate dusting brush, but for quickly dusting your surfaces, the sides of the stairs, the wooden parts, you know, side of your staircase, that's quite good for that. And I do like the convenience of the remote. The dust bag fill indicator on the display panel is showing that the dust bag doesn't need replacing, but I'm only going to put a new one in because in order to disguise the very horrible plasticky smell that this machine was giving out when it was new, I sprinkled in some of these pine fragranced, whatever they are, I don't know what they are. They're very Christmassy smell anyway. It's some little sort of granules of pine, and I really hate that smell now. It's all right when I've got my Christmas tree up, but not in June. So we can have it. So this has had a fair bit of use. So we can look at the bag compartment. So I'm going to take out the bag, and yeah, crikey, that is fairly full. Yet the indicator was leading me to believe that there was no way I'd needed to change it. I mean, I could use it for another few weeks, but that's quite full. So I'm taking it out with the smell of those granules, and I'm going to put in a new one. So no traces of dust in the bag compartment. It's a good job that the Miele High Clean dust bags do such a good job of retaining all the dirt and fine dust, because the pre-motor filter is about as useful as a Labour Prime Minister. You can see right through it, look. So I don't really know why it's even there, but as long as you're using the genuine Miele bags, it should be okay. And of course, we do have the HEPA, the active HEPA, the air clean HEPA, sorry, HEPA Air Clean 50 filter. So that's where the exhaust air comes out of. So the air that goes back into your room has to go through this filter as well. Obviously the bag is your first filter. Second filter, the useless one, does nothing. And then your final filter is here. So I am quite confident that when I'm using this machine, it is kicking out clean air. And the filter obviously being new, it's still going to be very effective. So I'm going to pop my new bag in, making sure it's locked into place. Yeah, it popped out then. Right, there we go. I think it will when you close the bag door anyway. This collar here that retains the bag will close. And you see how it pushes the bag into position. Let's pop the hose back on. Switch on. I think it's still going to smell of pine needles. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, but it's still, I don't know what it is. It's still got that awful smell it had when it was new. I mean, it's not that old now, but it's not pleasant. But it's not a smell I noticed on the other Guard series machines I've shown you. The S1 and the M1, they didn't have that smell. It must be something. I don't know if it's the fabric that's giving off the smell when the exhaust air comes out of it. But I mean, well, it's not a deal breaker, but it is a bit smelly. It is very quiet on minimum as well. I could use this fairly late at night if I just wanted a quick rip round. It's not going to be deep cleaning on this suction level. It is hard to push on maximum, but it isn't as bad as some. I think if I go down a notch onto the sort of fitted carpet, yeah, it's okay. But for this room, and probably for all my carpets, I'm going to use the optional TurboTech head. For my, well, for what it's worth, my opinion is this top of the range model, costing £500, should have had this as standard, to be honest. But I think Miele are more geared towards a continental customer who possibly don't have wall-to-wall carpets. I think I don't know, I don't think they support the UK consumer as much as they support consumers in Europe. And of course in America, when this cleaner is launched, I think you will get an electrically driven power head. I don't think they've been launched yet in the USA, the new Guard series, but yeah, there is a provision for a power head socket. I noticed I think it was on this cleaner. I'm pretty sure there was a blanking piece. Well, it was certainly on one of the Miele's I've looked at. Maybe not this one. Definitely seen it somewhere. Anyway, you'll have to wait and see what you get in America, but of course it's going to cost silly money in America, and if you're having extra tariffs now, EU, I think President Trump has put extra tariffs on EU countries, hasn't he? So they might even be even more expensive. They're silly money now. So I think it's going to price Miele and Sebo cleaners out of the market for a lot of American consumers. Yeah, so much easier. That's not on maximum. Even on maximum, I don't know why I'm getting so used to turning the cleaner off. Well, not this one. I forget that it's got remote control. Yeah, be careful, don't stamp on the cleaner with your big Dr. Martin boots on, will you? I've only got socks on. I'm quite gentle. There you go. Right, so yes, it does have remote. So, that's what I'm going to use. Yeah, the smell isn't as bad. It's not smelling of pine needles anymore, so that's good. Yeah. So I thought because it's cost me so much, I might as well use it. You do need your foot, well, you can use your fingers or your thumb, whatever. You can use any of your digits if you're a bit wary about damaging the LCD display. But anyway, there you have it. It's quiet, it's manoeuvrable, it is pretty light, not really suitable for a home with wall-to-wall carpet, if I'm honest. If you've got hard floors and a few rugs, yeah, it's a lovely premium vacuum. It's just a shame Miele don't think that the UK warrants having powerhead machines, although they used to offer cleaners with electrical powerheads, the Revolution range, and I've shown you a few of those on my channel. But anyway, it is what it is. I decided to get the cylinder cleaner out because as I've been using the Dyson, that's fine on the carpets. But because, as I said, it's a bit awkward for above floor cleaning, I've sort of neglected my above floor cleaning. But I have been cheating this month, and well, last month, May. I have been using this a bit in May because I thought, you spent so much money on it, Rog, use it. And then after a month of using this as my main vacuum, I'll be able to give you, I've more or less told you what I think of it now, but it might grow on me. It has grown on me, to be honest, since I first unboxed it and had the teething troubles. It's just a shame. It's just a lovely looking vacuum cleaner. I know that looks don't matter, folks. It's personality. Although in case of a vacuum cleaner, it's performance that counts. Performance and convenience rather than looks. I don't mind using an ugly monstrosity of a vacuum cleaner if it's nice to use and picks up the dirt. So this could be a case of all, fur coat and no knickers. That's what we say in the UK. All fur coat and no knickers, meaning it's looks fancy, but it's just not got the substance to do the job. But yeah, it does work well, I have to say. Right then, that's a long vacuum of the month. But anyway, it's Sunday. Hopefully you're not having to go to work, and you've enjoyed my little rambling chat. So it's goodbye Dyson, Hello Miele for the month of June. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions about the Dyson Ball or the Miele Guard series, please comment below. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm selling some vacuum cleaners slowly on my Facebook page. I've sold 2 to the same person. He was quite impressed with the first cleaner I sold him, and he wanted the other one, and he's also got first dibs on my Electrolux 330. So follow me on Facebook. That's probably the best place to see any cleaners that I sell, but follow me on Instagram as well, because there's a few things you won't see on this channel on my Instagram and Facebook, a few behind the scenes videos and snippets, and you often get to see new vacuum cleaners long before I put them on YouTube. And of course this lovely, let's move this lovely old, well, lovely new cleaner and look at a lovely old cleaner. I'm sure a lot of you watching would prefer this to the Miele, and I don't blame you, to be honest, because it's a lovely, lovely cleaner that floats on a cushion of air, floats with you through housework. I prefer the old to the new, but I've got to use the new for day-to-day use. The new, because I'm not precious about the new stuff, but I am more precious about my vintage machines, especially my 70s range. So if you want to look at vintage vacuums, if you only just found me, I've got loads of vintage vacuums on my channel, lots of new ones, a few washing machine videos as well. Yeah. So thumb up, subscribe, and I will see you very soon. I'll be choosing new carpet in another video. I've got some more unboxings and more demonstrations as well. So until then, I'll see you all very soon, and have a lovely Sunday. Bye for now.